Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy. Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters. Welcome back to King Said So. I'm your host, King053, Mr. Easy Imale Enengeling. It's very unusual for me to be shooting a video in the morning, but something woke me up and I had to attend to it. So as I was browsing through my Facebook, then I see such a childish move from the ANC Youth League. And what I'm talking about is exactly this. During a meeting of the ANC Youth League Musa Dladla Region Executive Committee, which includes members of the PWTT and the NEC, the national spokesperson, Comrade Wesley Kgang, was observed taking down photographs of former President Jacob Zuma from the walls of the ANC regional office. Now, wherever you are, Wesley, my brother, you are a foolish young man. Wherever you are, and your fellow comrades who are endorsing this type of behavior because of the differences that has happened at the ANC and all of that. You look like a bitter ex. You know those bitter exes that after a breakup, they go on Facebook and delete everything that has a trace with you. But the problem is the memories you can't delete in your heart. The experiences of how Jacob Zuma made the South African public feel and is still making them feel about him and the ANC can never be forgotten. And now you have a childish youth league spokesperson who why didn't you allow, you as the spokesperson, why didn't you let Abu Colin Malaji to do that? Why didn't you wait for the ANC mother body to take off Jacob Zuma's name out of the history book, of which is what you guys are trying to do practically? And you've got so many posters behind you. You've got a poster that has all the former ANC presidents. And are you going to remove them also? I'm so disappointed in how the ANC is dealing with this. You can see how they are behaving in KZN. It's like they fear Jacob Zuma so much and they want to attack the man, but they don't know how to attack him. And now they've decided, no, let's take the pictures of Jacob Zuma off the walls, of which some of these protocol pictures are in departments. You find them everywhere. Jacob Zuma is a significant mark in the history of South Africa, and we can never deny that. Those who like it and don't like it know that Jacob Zuma was the president of South Africa for 9 consecutive years. And it cannot be that the elders of the ANC allow such behavior to happen. They're allowing it. The man has announced that, listen, I'm not in favor of this current presidency or the current ANC of Cyril Ramaphosa. I don't like what they are doing. So I'm going to, in try and fixing the ANC, I'm going to put my weight behind Umkhonto Wesizwe, because we want to fight and fix the problems of the ANC. And I told you guys what Jacob Zuma meant by that when he said, I will die in the ANC. It's not in the physical party itself, but it's in the ideology and beliefs of the ANC. That's what he means, that he will die in the ANC. We are predicting that today, or I am predicting that today, They'll come out of the NEC, National NEC meeting, and come out and say, we are revoking his membership from the ANC. They can do that, but the beliefs of the ANC, those same beliefs that were there in the Freedom Charter and everything, you find them in the EFF, you find them in different political parties, because it's the beliefs that Jacob Zuma says, I will die in the ANC. What we believed for, this ANC, this current ANC, it's not doing justice to African people. Now, let me just remind Wesley Kgang, is a young, naive youth. I'm so disappointed, Wesley. So disappointed in you, comrade. That even this term of Cyril Ramaphosa, everyone, including the people of the ANC, have submitted and admitted that this was the worst term of any president. This past 5 years was the worst term of any president when it comes to economical growth, inequality, when it comes to crime, when it comes to unemployment, when it comes to anything you can name. You can hardly name 2 or 3 things that you can say this is what the ANC of Cyril Ramaphosa did. And it is the ANC of Cyril Ramaphosa, because we always blame the head. And as the head of the household, the head of the school, the head of the party, the head of whatever department you are busy with, we're going to put the blame on you. Now, it cannot be because Cyril Ramaphosa had a run of bad years, including COVID and all of those things. White monopoly capitalists putting their hands in the ANC's ass, and corruption, Zondo releasing the killer of Chris Hani, Pala Pala, and all of it. Cannot be after all of this drama when Cyril Ramaphosa, let's say for instance, Cyril Ramaphosa does not win the election of 2024. The people who take after Cyril Ramaphosa cannot now, because Cyril Ramaphosa was a bad president and maybe he also denounces his membership, go down and take his picture. What type of comrade spirits is this? You are disrespecting one of the most successful presidents in South Africa when we come to liberating his own people. Which university have Cyril Ramaphosa built? What has Cyril Ramaphosa done? Instead of cutting the budget of NSFAS, instead of cutting the budget of the army, they don't have jets. The navy, their ships are just waiting and rotting because there's no money for them to go for training. This is what we can say. But even with all of that, that's why I've always maintained to say, when 2 African brothers fight, they must fight for the aim to correct and not the aim to kill. What this youth league, Wesley Kgang, is trying to do is to kill the memory of Jacob Zuma. And that is not possible, my young brother. That is not possible. We know you are youth, but you cannot act foolish. What you have done there will be remembered in history. What you have done there will be remembered in history. Jacob Zuma will always, until he dies, until 1,000 years he dies, after he dies, he will always be remembered as former president Jacob Zuma. Always. Nobody can take that away from him. It's like having a matric certificate. Nobody can take it away from him. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm very disappointed. I wanted you guys to know. I just wanted to do this quickly one because the ANC is really acting childish now. Pity, man. Pity behaviors that they are doing. And trust me, today Fikile Mbalula is gonna come out and spill more childish tantrums and throw them around do it respectfully. If you are indeed going to suspend the former president's as membership, it's okay, do it. But remember, in politics, there's no permanent enemies. So do it respectfully, knowing that you don't know what the future holds in politics. Things can change like that. The same president that you are taking the pictures of could be the president again in this country. You'll never know. You'll never know. You might think you'll fight them through the courts and fight them through whatever, trademark rights, and all of that, but you'll never know what the future holds. The EFF might just collude with, have a collusion with the MK, and that might be enough for them to get 50%. You'll never know. You'll never know. And then once the ANC falls, it will be so difficult for the ANC to rise again. And you will be remembered as the fool that took off former president's picture off the wall. You are foolish, my brother. You're foolish. Nobody must sugarcoat this. As a Pan-Africanist, I'm telling you, you are foolish. We don't do that to the history of Africans. We don't do that. Already the white people have tried to erase some of our history from us, telling the stories wrong. You understand? They don't tell their defeats to the Khoisan people. They don't tell how many times the Portuguese have tried and failed to fight the Khoisan army. You understand? They don't tell you how many times they fought the Zulu people. They don't tell you the truth about our history. They try to remove it and alter it to such an extent that it looks favorable for them. Now, the question remains, how is this going to look favorable for you as a person, as a human being? As a human being, you, Wesley Kgang, you such a disappointment. You such a disappointment to you, to your family, and to the ANC Youth League. To us, the youth, you are a disappointment. I hope someone calls this young man to order, but it's not going to happen in the ANC anyway. So we don't have hope anymore. Acts like this, acts like this. That picture on the wall is making you have sleepless nights, what we call chest pains. I, it's such a disappointment. I don't know what to say, but um, as a Pan-Africanist, I cannot sit down. I had to wake up and do this video because of your stupid actions that you took. Um, I cannot sit down and wait and watch the history of one of the greatest presidents in the history of South Africa be um, his history be spat on like this. I can't. I'm sorry. You guys go in the comment section and tell me what you think. I'm not gonna talk anymore. I'm done. I'm done. I had to just wake up for this rubbish. Imborile lentwana. Umborile straight. Umborile. Until we meet next time, don't forget to pray. And after you pray, stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace in Pan Africanism. I salute you.